We have already taken a closer look at the burial of the Austrian monarch in the Vienna Capuchin crypt in a previous video. Today we want to go back there briefly and take a closer look at an extremely interesting object. It is the Madonna sculpture that is located in the chapel of the crypt. It was originally part of a magnificent monument donated by a committee of Hungarian women. Just a few days after the funeral, the interest group met for the first time and launched an appeal to raise the necessary funds. In its current form, Elizabeth's final resting place did not correspond to what the Hungarians imagined as an adequately equipped hearth. Around 2 years later, the amount for the work of art was raised. There were even around 50,000 Hungarian crowns left, which were used to set up a charity fund. The funds flowed into the construction of a pulmonary hospital. The design came from the Hungarian artist György Zala. He was also responsible for the monument to Elizabeth, which can now be found near the Budapest bridge of the same name. The leitmotif, with the Madonna, was the image of the ideal woman. The compromise with Hungary in 1867, which came about through Elisabeth's mediation, was the most important, if only, political achievement of her life. This meant that the collapse of the multi-ethnic monarchy could be averted for the time being. From then on, the veneration of Sisi was particularly strong in this part of the Habsburg Empire. For her part, she returned the favor by, for example, personally paying her last respects to Ferenc Deák, a fellow campaigner and designer of the equalization, at his grave in 1876. The Republican in the imperial robe strictly refused to resolve conflicts with military means. Their attitude can be described as extremely pacifist.
Stop.
What do you want here?
Let them stop immediately.
Who are you anyway?
I am.
Her Majesty, the Empress.
The Emperor even made an exception to the protocol for Zala's ensemble, according to which homages of this kind could only be initiated by another noble family member. A good example of this is the Empress Elisabeth monument in Salzburg, which her brother-in-law Ludwig Victor paved the way for. Franz Joseph visited the artist at his work and expressed his appreciation for him. The ensemble was finally cast in Berlin. The ceremonial inauguration took place on August the 25th, 1900. Among the guests were the Empress ladies-in-waiting, Ferenczy and Stare, who were also members of the committee, as well as the Hungarian Minister of Trade. The sculpture was enthroned on a black marble base, between the coffins of Elizabeth and Crown Prince Rudolf, who died in 1889, in order to bring their tragic lives together in a quasi-conciliatory way. To what extent the Hungarian people were able or allowed to use the group as a place of pilgrimage in the following years can no longer be said with certainty. In any case, the dismantling took place in 1916, when the emperor himself moved into the crypt and found his place between his wife and his son. Early illustrations show Franz Joseph's sarcophagus still on the black base.